This is Drop Tent Media Network.
Hey everybody, how you doing? This is comedian Neil Wood and
Adam Nutter.
We can't do it like that. You have to sound like a human being. That's insane. Because I'm realizing how little you're talking.
Adam Nutter.
I could just take, if you just want me to, honestly, you know what we need to do is you just need to get that clean.
Adam Nutter.
And then I'll just pop it in wherever I need to. But
Adam Nutter. Let's do that.
come listen to the Cult of Us podcast. That's our promo.
Adam Nutter.
A Drop Tent Media Network podcast. Go to droptent.com or search Cult of Us podcast on your favorite podcast platform.
Hey, welcome to the Weekday Comics. I'm Dave Primiano.
And I'm Dan D'Aprile, and we're here to shoot the shit and talk the news.
Hey. It's me in the studio.
There he is.
By myself again, because Dan,
not in the studio.
Dan made up a disease because he didn't feel like shoveling off his car.
Wow. Classic cop out.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I wasn't disappointed that I'm sick this week because I definitely didn't want to clear my car out and shovel for the podcast. But the reality is, apologies to our many fans. The hits keep on coming for me. I was flooded out last week. I couldn't physically make it into the studio. This week, I have pneumonia, officially diagnosed. I am on 3 types. Yeah, check it out. I'm on 3 different types of antibiotics.
Anything good? Anything you can sell on the street?
Maybe. I got the Z-Pack. You can't really sell that. That thing cost me $5. Yeah. I got doxycycline. This stuff is pretty cool. And then I got this. I can't even pronounce it. Never been on this, but I got to take one right now. It's called cefuroxime or who the fuck knows? But I'm about to take one, so here we go. This is gonna make me.
Wow.
Hey,
we might see a live overdose.
Yeah, I was gonna say you should have snorted it, you fucking pussy.
God,
Can we curse on this?
Yeah, I think yes. Okay, let's introduce our guest real quick. We have not one but 2 South Jersey bad boys on the show.
Yes.
That's right. The both of them. Dan Callahan, Brendan Donegan.
Yeah.
God, could you have said my name wronger?
Donegan.
Brandon Donegan.
I feel like Donegan is how they would pronounce it in Ireland.
A lot of people give it a real nice Irish twang, which of course it is very Irish.
Bruch.
Yeah.
But you also said Brandon, which is a completely different name. And again,
Brandon, whatever. Yeah, I made it.
No, it's the same thing, Dove.
Dove, first of all, Dove.
Well, now Dan, number 1, where you didn't want to come in because we got a studio of not 3 South Jersey bad boys. Dave is certified. Neil, I don't know if you're from South Jersey too. I mean,
oh, that's right.
We got a whole room full of us here.
Wow.
That's true. And I am, I guess, the only Pennsylvania lazy boy, and so I stayed home.
Right.
I can't represent Jersey, so I decided to stay away. No, I'm highly contagious, and I didn't want to turn you guys into the Jersey sick boys. So
yeah, you didn't want to make us gayer than we already are. I get it.
Yeah, I'm realizing as like we are having people on the podcast, or like people are like, "Hey, plug your podcast," and I say South Jersey Bad Boys. People that don't know us really are confused. Like they think that we're dead serious, like with the name South Jersey Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Like
we sing a cute little jingle in the beginning. It's really not that hard of a thing, you know.
And I'm like, oh, maybe I should. I don't know, explain more that it is, it's ironic.
Yeah,
that we're not.
You're good boys.
We couldn't seriously say good boys, cute boys. Just bad boys. We watched a lot of Cops as kids. Like that's kind of where it came from.
Just Bad Boys. I thought people would know we're kind of goofing off, but some people are like, "Are you guys being like dead serious?"
Yeah,
I think that you're like badasses or something.
Yeah.
I mean, for South Jersey, maybe I don't know. No, that's where Camden is technically. Yeah,
we're both in Camden County.
But
that's true.
Camden's clean its act up though. Yeah,
I should warn you guys though that this is a live podcast, unlike yours, which is pre-recorded. So if one of you goes on a 20-minute rant about Israel, it will be there.
Goes out.
If one of you 2 does that.
That was
definitely not me.
I was going to say, there's a chance of anybody doing that tonight. It's definitely not Dave.
Yeah. The best part about that is I knew Brendan had no idea what we were talking about. Dan, if you weren't aware, we cut out the first 20 minutes of the episode we did with Dave because we were just shooting the shit about Gaza. But it was the day after it happened, and Brendan was like, "What are you guys talking about?"
It was a total fugaza.
And maybe shooting the shit is not the right term when you're talking about Gaza.
Yeah.
We just let things fly.
But I jokingly
Gaza.
They were flying on paragliders. Yeah,
I jokingly said
back and forth.
Oh, so when are we starting the episode? And that's exactly where they started the episode.
Yeah, that's
For
exactly
the-
where I started.
For the viewers, yeah.
Dave was already over for an hour and a half in our basement, and
You
then
gotta
I'm like,
let Dave warm up and heat up and get on a good
Yeah,
topic
yeah.
like that just to get him excited.
he gets cooking. It's like a bonfire. Just gotta let him get there, and then we roast some
yeah,
marshmallows.
we
on him.
stoke
It's-
up the fire a little bit, and then you just let it.
Yeah, blow air into it a little bit, get it going.
Was I the first Jew you had on?
Yeah, we had a strict policy.
No, we had a half seed with Cody Wright. Cody Wright.
Oh.
Cody Wright was on there.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Right on the
he's
pod.
a half C. Yeah,
I'm a half Z too, so
So now we got a full.
there
Together
you
you
go.
had
Two
one,
halves make a
too.
full.
yeah,
That's right.
And that was enough. Yeah.
yeah.
Never again.
Yeah, but being in South Jersey, we just got to have a lot of white trash on there, and it's kind of what we, stick to. So,
Yeah.
but I think we'll expand our horizons a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of cornered ourselves, calling ourselves the South Jersey bad boy, talking about.
Yeah.
Well, you could just be guys that are
Expanding
from, but you like to talk about South Jersey. You like the goings-ons in your backyard.
Exactly.
I would say mostly Dan. Dan's really into zip codes,
Yeah.
and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
We're thinking about running a couple tests on Dan.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Particular
He was
test.
gonna do like live tests while we're,
We
on
have
our pre-recorded.
questions.
Is that where you like show them a picture of a naked lady and then say what color was the ball behind her?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
Exactly. But my answer would be like, was she wearing Billabong? What was? I would get really too in depth for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just been these spikes, and I know people use it very loosely now. Instead of saying retarded, people say autistic. It's.
Yeah. Or you
I
can say
find
on
myself
the-
doing it too, but
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
can say on the spectrum. It's beautiful. A very elegant way to call someone.
exactly.
I'm not going to lie. For the longest time, I thought autism was just retarded but normal looking. So
But there's some people I know that are legitimately, like you said, on the spectrum are pretty smart, just maybe socially awkward at times, or like bring up
Yeah.
really weird,
Yeah.
deep cuts like I do. I don't know.
I feel like some people are using it as an excuse now to be awkward.
oh yeah, I've leaned
yeah.
into it.
I have too. I say it, but then I find myself doing it. I
Right,
mean,
right.
yeah. What can you do though? But so who's going to reimburse me for the toll? By the way, is that you, Dan? You wanna-
You have to see him in. It's Dave.
Yeah.
You're in there with the studio with him. He's
Yeah,
paying
that's
that.
I don't think Dave is paying any of us back here.
It's gonna be the only Jew on the podcast.
We cornered ourselves here.
Hey, I left a parking cone on the street for them. Isn't that good enough?
Oh yeah, dude. When I lived in South Philly, there was a older woman that lived on the block over from me, and she would put a parking cone, the orange traffic cone, I mean, and a wheelchair in her spot outside of her house. And I saw her flash a gun at somebody
Is it-
one time.
There's already something
Yeah.
that saves a spot for her then.
Yeah, you would think. There's people that are like, wait, we got to paint blue on the curb. Fuck that. It wasn't a handicap spot. Should have been. It was right next to a Chinese restaurant though, so maybe that was blocking it.
Why do you need a handicaps thing for just try is it
No,
what does
no,
that, how does that correlate?
I think because there was a business there on the corner, and maybe there's some weird bylaw that the Chinese have instituted that you can't have a handicap spot on their corner. That was my
Yeah,
theory.
They're buying up land.
Yeah, they're buying up everything now. Yeah.
I mean,
Chinese
never-
bylaws.
That's right.
Like how I backed in from a South Philly old woman flashing a gun into a
Yeah.
Chinese bylaw.
being
Yeah.
around those drivers is how you end up handicapped. But
Yeah.
cut that. See, live show can't have that.
Yeah, see, this is why we have
fucking-
toilet flushes on our program.
Right. That's why we pre-record.
Yeah, how many times Brendan has told me careful, and then we got to cut
Careful,
something.
Dan. Well, Dan, his choice of words, a lot of times he'll use words that are very close to a slur, even though technically it's not. I gotta say, careful, Dan.
Yeah.
you get
I
cut
get-
a little close.
For example,
Diggerland.
Oh,
is a-
okay. I was hoping that you weren't going to ask for an
Yeah.
example and that you weren't going
That's
to
the only-
answer it immediately.
That's the only local reference I'll bring up tonight, but it is that construction-themed amusement park for children in Berlin, New Jersey, and Diggerland. That's the
God,
name.
you got to stop saying it. You're
I
making me
I
nervous.
almost have a speech impediment. I find myself like I mess up words rather frequently, but that place, Dan D'Aprile, would you have a recommendation for them in the marketing department to change their name, rebrand? What do you think would be better for
Yes.
that?
Soft A. That's it. Soft A. It's the solution to everything.
It would work
Yeah.
better. I think it would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything would work better. It's,
Yeah.
it's kind of close.
no, I don't even feel right trying to say
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Although right before we went on air, I overheard you guys before you put your cans on talking about my new favorite football player, Noah Kaniga. Is that his name or something like
Oh
that?
my God! Does that even count? I mean, that is
That's
that
his
is saying
name.
it.
It is. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, no, because yes, it's Knigga.
Right.
But yeah, he got interviewed by RG3, and that's the first. Can you pronounce your name? And it's Knigga.
Yeah.
Oh my
But it's
god.
Noah. It's Noah.
Stop
Knigga. This guy
making
is
a big
very-
deal about this. This is a proper noun.
I feel like it's just the emphasis that you're putting on certain syllables. But maybe you could say them together faster,
You're probably
and just
right.
maybe you could blend them a little bit better. I feel like
my
that's
God.
not how you say
I
it.
made it easier for the editors to just take the second and third syllable of that name by themselves.
Man, I can't wait for the clip we're gonna put on Instagram on this, and we're just gonna cut the K from that, and it's just gonna be.
Yeah, that's true. You can easily edit that.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna send this to Otis and see if he can make something. All right, I can't make any
That's-
more deep cuts here.
That's okay. Otis Timlin, friend of the show, we've actually had him on twice. So
Nice.
just so you know, we like the high wire act of having the most tense live show you can possibly have.
yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah.
So nothing you guys could possibly say on your worst day would be as bad as what we've had to deal with, at least on 2 of our episodes.
Well, we
Oh.
definitely just set the bar pretty high, right there. So I think it can only get better.
Let's see if we can top it by talking about the Eagles, huh? I'm sorry, this is your show.
No. I was going to bring up the Eagles.
Day
It's
after.
atrocious, man.
Oh, man.
So bad.
I'm okay with this weekend. The Cowboys' loss was worse than the Eagles' loss.
It is.
Agreed.
I'll compare the Eagles' loss was, as a fan, them dying. They died of cancer. The Cowboys got hit by a bus.
Right, but what are we
Yeah.
doing with that? We're comparing like who lost better, who lost it better.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Well, I'm
we
saying, yeah, we've had time to cancer. You have time to process the grief. Cowboys just fucking. Hey, we're a Super Bowl team.
That is true. We knew it was coming. We had some time to prep for it. It makes it a little
Yeah.
bit easier, and we were ready for it. That's when
true.
you're ready to euthanasia that team.
It's
Just
time.
fucking
Bring in the priest.
pull the
Yeah.
plug. Pull the plug on that bitch ass
Just
team.
can barely walk anymore. You can't stop shitting. Just euthanize it. Yeah, that's
It
what
was,
happened.
it was embarrassing, dude. I mean, we all knew we were gonna lose. It was like let's just restart. Let's look forward to next season. At this point, it was so bad.
yeah.
I was delirious. I had just gotten back from urgent care. They said if you get worse, you have to go to the hospital. I was shivering. I felt like I was going to vomit, and it was way more enjoyable than that Eagles game.
Yeah,
Every moment of having pneumonia was better than watching that Eagles game.
I knew it was bad when I wanted to watch the Emmys instead. That's how wrong it was getting.
I tried to tell the bar to put on the Emmys, but
Yeah.
I mean, at least there's no parody in the Emmys either.
No.
It's Succession.
Yeah. Yeah.
right.
Yeah, and not only that, I was like the Emmys were getting so bad. I wanted to put on the Iowa caucuses. That's how rough things were getting. It was. I mean, you had 3 of those huge. I mean, across the board, entertainment wise, you had your pick on a Monday night.
That's true, but nobody like. I'm only gonna tune in now. They set the bar so high with a good slap. Like, unless someone's getting slapped or knocked the fuck out at one of these award shows, I'm not tuning in.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the
Yeah.
caucuses.
Well, yeah.
I was like, I would love to see.
I thought
That was great.
I thought since the writers were on strike so long, they were going to write in another slap like they did for the Oscars.
I
Do you
legitimately
think that was a write-in?
Oh hell yeah,
It was staged.
100%.
when I was I don't know. But what I will say, when I was watching it live, because me and my wife were watching TV, scrolling through, saw that, and usually don't watch that stuff. We're like, let's see what this is about for 10 seconds. Happens to be that moment, and I thought it was fake. I was like, I couldn't believe that it happened, and it kind of looked weird. But then like Chris Rock's reaction after a little bit, I'm like, wait, was that real? And my wife's like, no, like that legitimately was real. But my first reaction was I thought it was completely staged and fake.
Didn't you see Fargo season 4? He's been working on his acting chops.
I did not see.
Who's in? Is Chris Rock?
Chris
in
Rock is
Yeah.
It's the least. It's the season that least attempts to be funny too, which
Really?
is a weird thing for putting him in the lead role. But
Yeah.
Oh, he's in the lead. For that?
Fargo is the show where is it the first season or second where Billy Bob Thornton is
First.
is in it?
yeah,
I've seen some of that, and it was pretty interesting.
Is that like based on the movie with Steve Buscemi or what?
they have nods to it, but it's its own story.
It's its own thing. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Is each
Yeah.
season different?
Yeah, each season
same universe, but yeah, different stories.
Oh,
so
cool.
there's some like characters that jump over, but you can watch them all bareback or
What's
alone,
the
whatever.
best season?
1 and 2.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. That's Dave's TV recommendations.
I need a good new show to watch. So
how about I think it was between the Emmys and the Golden Globes that Better Call Saul was nominated for 53 and they didn't win anything.
Really?
That was insane. Yeah, because I loved obviously Breaking Bad. Better Call Saul, some people said is better than Breaking Bad, which is insane, but it was still great. You know, same writers, same creator.
I love Bob Odenkirk.
Bob Odenkirk is great in there. They have a lot
Friend
of
of
other
the show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't know it, but
Thanks
friend
for
of the
listening,
show.
Bob.
Yeah.
Did you
Shout out Bob.
Did you see how he was just casually sitting in the background during the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade this year?
No.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're
He was
married.
attending it.
Of course.
He's the only one. You have a kid. You're the only one that has a reason to watch a parade on
Even if I was
TV.
watching, I'm not the one on the spectrum catching that in the background.
I'm like, do you see? That's Bob Odenkirk sitting right there. And I was like, why am I watching the Thanksgiving Day parade?
Why are you watching the Thanksgiving? There's football on that day.
It was at 10 a.m. I was still drunk.
There's
I'm like,
pregame shows on.
He likes parades and trains. And,
parades. I'm big into trains. I do.
You're a man in a relationship. Maybe you made the same thing I did. I had to watch the parade early so I could watch all the football games later.
That is right.
Oh, is that a compromise?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to have stuff to talk about at Thanksgiving dinner. I was like, did you see those costumes? Did you see the marching band? It was Alabama A&M. They got an HBCU in there.
Fucking woke ass Thanksgiving.
Did you guys never play NCAA football on Xbox 360 and you played as the Division 1 AA schools, which was usually like Alabama A&M, Howard. Like you had to play a really shitty team and the guys run like so fucking slow.
Really?
You never did that?
No, I always picked the best teams and like just ran the option the entire time. It was the most.
I like the games with the players' names underneath them. I can't go on a fucking number. I'm not autistic. I can't remember who's who based on nothing but a number.
Oh, it was funny.
Yeah, you remember that? They would just have the numbers and you have to know like, oh, that is Reggie Bush.
Yeah. That guy is styled after Matt Leinart and he's a lefty.
And they weren't
so
getting paid on that shit. Like none of the players were getting paid.
That's why they stopped it. But now with the NIL stuff, they're bringing it back, aren't they? NCAA.
I think they are bringing back NCAA, which is awesome, dude.
I always love those.
It's cool that you can play a guy from Howard because he doesn't run very fast, but you know, like when he graduates, he's probably going to get a pretty good job. Like, he's pretty set, like educationally.
Exactly.
Right.
That's why I like the career mode in that because you got
Yeah,
you're in a dorm room.
This isn't even a football game anymore, right?
Yeah, it was. That's when the game started turning more into like the management of it instead of playing as much. So yeah.
Do they have like sweeping rapes under the carpet or anything like
They
that?
should do something like that where it's kind of like Grand Theft Auto and NCAA kind of combined where it's like, yo, this guy got in trouble for sexual assault.
Yeah.
How's he going to finish out the season?
Oh yeah, yeah.
The Madden franchise does that now, where like they'll randomly have one of your players be like, he can't play this game, even though he didn't get hurt
You
during
failed
the
a
game.
drug test or something.
That's what they should do. They should add like, oh, he has a rape accusation.
Yeah,
he can't
you would-
play for a couple weeks.
The end game is to make you win if you make your character as likable as Jameis Winston is now, because everyone's like, "Oh, that was so great! He disobeyed his coach. He's the man. Like his teammates love him. He also raped a few people in college and also shoplifted." But
Wow.
Listen, the Deshaun Watson trade is still like a Madden trade. They were like, ah, shit, this guy, he did all that shit. What can I get for it?
That's
Right, right.
incredible. Now, I never was one. I always played the NCAA game. I didn't really play Madden, but if you can guarantee me that I could play as Ray Rice in Atlantic City in 2012,
You have to walk around the boardwalk knocking bitches
it's
out.
like you're just walking into a casino and it's like, do you want to enter the elevator or go to the craps tables?
do you get like the test your might thing for Mortal Kombat where you have to get it right between these 2 points and you fucking knock her out good.
Yeah, you know how in Grand Theft Auto you can like go in the car like with a prostitute, but you don't see exactly what's going on there. That's what happens with Ray Rice. You can go in the elevator and you don't know what's going on in there.
You see it going up floor to floor to floor, and there's like some rumbling going
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
You know, he's still with that broad, right?
Yeah.
They were high
It's
school.
just a cartoon cloud. Like it's coming.
Yeah.
So,
Somebody rolls out and you're like,
they're still together.
They're still together. They were high school sweethearts, and then after all that happened, he got a job back at his high school coaching the running backs or something, which is funny. It's like he couldn't even get a head coaching job back at the high school after playing in the NFL.
yeah, they're like, let's bring around some kids.
Yeah, this is great. I mean, yeah, dude, my high school too, we had some coaches that were definitely coaches, but not officially because they had felonies and they just showed up to practice, and it was pretty incredible.
Cool.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
My one of my old high school football coaches just became the head football coach at Syracuse.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Coach
cool.
Fran, dude. Pretty cool.
What position did you guys play?
I was receiver.
I was a center.
Wide
You were a
receiver.
slot guy.
Wow.
Slot guy, right? You're not
Of course.
going up. Well, oh wait, the slot guys are the ones that go over the middle. They have to go up,
But you
up
could be
high to get the ball.
No, you could be a little guy in the
Yeah.
slot.
Like
Yeah,
a
like
Wes
a
Welker.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a Julian Edelman build.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
exactly what I was going for.
Julian Edelman, Wes
That's right.
Welker.
Pick the
yeah.
one good Jew.
Yeah.
The
I'll
one
take
good one.
Well, as far as NFL players go, there was what, Sid Luckman in the 50s, and then you had a few quarterbacks that sucked, and then you had Julian Edelman,
Yeah, I'm trying to think of
Sage
anything.
Rosenfels, and Josh Rosen.
What about the quarterback
Mel Goldstein?
was
Quarterback of the Rams in 1985. I was a big fan. I got his jersey at home.
was Mark Sanchez. He was not.
Mark Sanchez,
That sounds Jewish, right?
No.
Lamar Jackson.
How many NFL players can we make Jewish right now?
I mean, all you have to do is find a good spot to hit the
Yeah.
Could you do it with like a John Runyon, maybe?
Khan Runyon.
There we go.
Oh, Donovan McNabb. That would be perfect.
Yeah.
There's a couple in there you could do.
I can't think of any players with an H right now.
I mean, Jalen Hurts.
Hurts. Yeah.
Deshaun Watson. No, it doesn't work. Sorry.
As much of an Eagles fan as I am, I kind of do giggle a little bit when I see online people this morning absolutely losing their fucking minds because most of them were dying laughing at the Cowboys losing, like raving about that.
Yeah, we
but,
look like jackasses after that.
yeah, but like I saw some
No,
people.
we all knew though.
Yeah,
We got our 24-hour window
Yeah.
to enjoy ourselves.
true.
I saw a lot of people saying that they will just never forgive Nick Sirianni for what he's done to Jason Kelsey. I'm like, isn't that like, come on? Like, it's like, I'm a fan of the Eagles too, but like, come
Do
on.
you think they're gonna fire Sirianni?
I think so.
They have to.
There's a lot of in-depth stuff that it play call wise.
I feel. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they do, but I feel like maybe they could give him one more year and fire a bunch of coordinators.
I think because that's what they did to Doug Peterson, right? They went to him and they were like, clean house, fire all your coordinators and we'll let you stay. And he said no, and then they fired him. So I think they're going to give Sirianni the same choice. And I don't think Sirianni has the same loyalty. I think he's like, yeah, sure, I'll fire whoever you want to keep the job.
Well, he
I
fucking
think he's
better.
gonna-
I think if you lose the locker room, you're done. There's no.
That's
you don't-
true.
There's no
That's
coming back from that.
And I'll tell you what, the only thing that shakes me from that belief was the way Lurie looked in the box last night. He looked fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
he
other
did.
thing is, if you're the head coach and then you have, let's just say the offensive coordinator, for example, making some of the worst, the past 6 weeks, some of the worst calls I've ever fucking seen where it's screen, quarterback draw, almost every single fucking play. And then as the head coach, you don't step in and go, hey, we're not fucking doing that anymore. You should be honestly fired at that point.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts would have called him out on it pretty good.
There you go. How could I not have thought of that?
Oh no! There's another screen. Really?
You could call a better game with Howard on NCAA football. You know
I
what
saw.
You have such a good arm. Why don't you let me air it out? Show them what your skill set is, honey.
Hurts looked terrible, dude. Mike Rainey tweeted, which made me laugh so hard that he was like, Jalen Hurts is just watching Medea movies on that iPad. On the fucking side. Oh, it's so funny, dude. I mean, he looks like he's not even, engaged in the game at all. Not even paying, like. I
Well,
don't know.
that's the
that's
same look we
football.
love.
I want to
Yeah,
know
that's
what
because
happened
when
though.
he's winning. When we're winning, it's like, look at that stoic competitor.
Yeah,
ice
yeah.
in his veins.
Yeah.
Nothing shakes him. And then when we're losing, it's like, show some emotion, you motherfucker. Be
Yeah,
as
that's
angry as
true.
I
You
am,
can't-
you bitch.
Can't
You know,
win. Can't win
yeah.
with that. But there's something that went on in that locker. Like, I want to know.
Someone fucked someone's wife.
I want Jason Kelsey to come on his podcast and tell us what the fuck happened the second half of the season. Like, really tell us, like,
Ooh,
who's give me someone to blame.
someone fucked Taylor Swift.
Well, we know who's banging her, but
No, I mean in the Eagles locker room too.
oh, you think somebody?
Ooh.
She's going on tour around the league, but only
Yeah, she could
only
tear apart a whole
publicized
team.
with Trav.
She's going on a stadium tour, just
Yeah.
back and forth between Arrowhead and Lincoln Financial.
My God, wait, her next album is gonna be fucking incredible.
Hell yeah.
About how she broke up a football team.
She got some soul in her now. No,
She got Darius Slade.
Yeah.
Instead of her private jet, it's going to be the Soul plane she's flying on everywhere, renting it out. Yeah, it's going to look like the fucking Wolf of Wall Street. Remember that scene on the way to his bachelor party?
I fucking love that scene.
Neil's like, I'm gonna wait till Dan's finished this racist comment and I'm gonna hop in.
No, well, I was gonna say Slade got hurt, right? He got hurt pretty bad. Yeah, he's out.
Did what wound up happening to him?
I didn't see the follow up, but he was pretty. That was pretty bad. He looked pretty defeated.
He got carted off.
Were you guys at all? I was kind of surprised about the Eagles fans adopting Taylor Swift because we're so bloodthirsty. I was like, don't you realize this woman's going to get in the way of football?
Yeah. She's that fucking famous right now. It's crazy. Yeah, that is a great point.
I was talking about that recently. Like, she's bigger than any NFL player. She's so big that she's as big as the NFL, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah,
the entire league is like equal to her. Basically.
That's very true because every time she's at the game, the entire focus of the game is on her.
Right.
But don't joke about that in front of her. She does not like that.
No.
That joke was sexist, apparently, somehow.
What was the joke even?
Hey, we're up against the NFL. You know what the difference is between the Golden Globes and the NFL? Less shots of Taylor Swift. And she...
Really?
Ooh.
Did she look angry at that one?
Offensive?
That might just be her face, but I don't know.
Oh, man. Well, when she hears this podcast, she's going to be pissed.
I wonder if maybe they also just did a shot, like just to create drama and create controversy, where it's like she might have not even been upset, but they just take a shot of her at some point in the night.
It might have just been her face, it's like taking it. But I said there's decorum. If your name gets mentioned, even if the joke sucks, which it wasn't that good of a joke, it was generic. You just go like
right. Don't act like you're like how could you?
Like if you go back and watch Ricky Gervais's very famous Golden Globes final one that he hosted, and he was making fun of a lot of people. Like so many people were laughing. Leonardo DiCaprio was laughing at the joke about him.
That's the best response. If you sit there and you act pissed, you look like a fucking dork, dude. Yeah. Like when Gervais was fucking around and Tom Hanks was like,
he looked fucking
how
livid.
could he be saying this? It's like, oh, man, I liked you, Tom.
That's how everyone knew Tom Hanks was on the Epstein list before they knew Leo was on it. Leo's like, roll with the punches.
The concept of the whole thing is that you're at this event that's just designed to suck you off and to talk about how great everyone in the room is, and all you're asked is to show a little bit of fucking humility when there's nobody. And listen, Joe Coy is kind of relative to these people, a nobody, like is going to poke a little fun at you. And even though he wasn't very good, you have to pretend like, oh, you're right. I don't think I'm like one of God's most important people for a minute out of the night. And that's can't do it.
The Barbie crew, they hated the fucking Barbie joke made, but they all they played it.
Well, that's why Gervais killed so hard, is because he really just did not give a fuck. He said that he's like, I don't give, I don't care about this thing, and then he killed everybody, and that's the way to fucking do it, man. You guys are fucking dorks for taking yourself so seriously, because they don't respect you. They never respect who the host is as a comedian anyways. They all think that they're better than it. So Gervais coming out and be like, I'm going to just shit all over you guys is why no one's ever going to top that.
Who was it that referred to doing those types of things are basically the equivalent of like a hell corporate gig?
I've heard a lot of podcasts talking about it, and it's a great example. Like, it's a horrible room. Like you got to imagine.
Well, that's why. They like the talk show hosts to do it, like Kimmel's and Fallon's, because those people kiss their ass all year round.
Yeah. And like last night I saw the beginning of the Emmys before the Eagles came on, and Anthony Anderson hosted it, and it was the most like safe monologue that you could do. There was like music incorporated in it. He's very charismatic. The way he went about it, he was just playing it so safe. I don't know if that was because of what they saw with Joe Coy. Obviously he's not a stand-up and he's going to go out there and just roast a bunch of people, but it just came off very like, let's not piss a bunch of people off type of thing.
They're not going to be able to get anybody to do it next year. Like I don't even understand. I mean, hindsight's 2020, but why Joe Coy, who's already killing it, has a massive fan base, doesn't need to do it. He shouldn't have even fucking done it, dude. It's a lose-lose situation. If you do well, people are like, okay, like congrats, you did your job. And if you bomb, that's all people talk about.
Yeah.
Well, it depends what the price tag is.
But he doesn't need the money.
No,
that dude sells.
He sells out arenas. Yeah. So many people don't even know who he is, too.
It was an opportunity for him to raise his profile, because I don't think he has generally the biggest national profile. I think we know him because we're comics. I think if you're tapped into comedy, you know him. But I think your average Golden Globes viewer probably never heard of him.
True. But he's big enough where like the amount of money that he fucking makes, and then and, sure, like that audience doesn't know who he is, but then he fucking bombs and
right.
Yeah, but I don't think it wasn't so great. I don't think he gained any new fans, but I don't think he lost any fans.
Yeah,
right.
So
true.
If you know him, you already know he's funny, so you know that's not a representation of like what he does. So
Yeah.
And he'll get material out of it, I'm sure.
Yeah,
you know.
that's 20 minutes into his next special.
Yeah.
Now, Dave, you've turned down some gigs in your time?
I turned down one last week. I turned down.
Was it not the right fit?
Half hour clean at the JCC, and I said the first thought I had in my head was, "Wait, they're cool with genocide now, right?" So I was like, "All right, no, I'm turning down the gig.
Yeah.
I should not do it."
Right.
Like, so
They're cool with this now, right?
I mean, they do like the shows that paid the most are my least favorite ones I've ever done. Like, so I've done country clubs before,
Yeah.
and like I hear, because I know my fucking jokes, and I hear myself neutering them in real time, and I just hate myself so much when I'm doing them.
Yeah, that's the thing. They could draw you in with the money, and then you get like they pay you extra money to have the least fun. Like it's it's
Just can you bite the bullet on one? Here's an extra $50. Like,
Yeah.
How about you, Dan? Do you ever host, or what's your hell corporate gig story?
Geez, what I was doing for a while, my worst show ever. I had fallen into a niche doing burlesque shows, hosting burlesque shows, and this was not Fenris, friend of the show. I did host his burlesque show, but it was not this troupe that our
There's a
podcast
corporate
has had
burlesque
some. No,
I'll be there. Yeah, let's
but
do that.
they were paying me like an increasing amount to do more and more for them, and I just kept doing it till the point where the woman that was raging, it got sick and was like, "You've done enough of these. I'll throw you some extra money. Just show up and kind of like help me run things, or run things for me and the kitten," which is like the youngest member of the troupe, who was doing all like the back end production shit, and I was going to do all the like hosting and stuff. Well, this kitten got shit-faced drunk, tried to hit on me in front of my girlfriend at the time. I rejected her immediately, and she got so mad, she went up to introduce me on stage, and she was like, "Your host tonight, he's a real scumbag, and he knows what he did. Please welcome Dan D'Aprile."
Wow.
And I had to come out there and go, "I don't know what she's talking about." And the whole room looked at me like, "You're some kind of fucking abuser." And
you should have came out and been like, "Give it up for that stinky pussy."
Show her the back. Get the fuck off my stage.
Yeah. Kitten.
I'm usually pretty patient about getting paid. Like, I'm gonna get paid, but I'm never like, "Give me my fucking money." That show, I was like, at the end, I was like, "Fucking pay me right fucking now," because if I don't have money, this whole night is one of the worst nights of my life.
I just walked off a gig actually.
Oh, that's so funny. You gotta tell that.
So I got speaking of our Jewish brethren, Cody Wright, who we're gonna have on the pod.
He's our next week guest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well then we'll have
Guess
him on
we can't
the
do one next week.
Well, I'm gonna have him on
Making
the,
a tour. He's making his runs.
but this is live, so it's
Better.
So he hooks me up with a friend of his who does these these different she works for a production company, and she hired me to do it like a man on the street video, which Cody's done a bunch of these. And she explained it to me beforehand. She's like, it's for like an energy spray company, very like bro-y vibe. She kept describing it as like, have you seen the movie Iron Claw with Zac Efron and Jeremy Allen White? She's like, it's like,
don't spoil.
I haven't seen it, but
Okay.
she's like, it's Iron Claw, it's bro, it's like energy. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, I've done some man on the street stuff before. It'd be easy enough to like ask people questions. So I had to drive all the way up to Brooklyn to do this. Thought we were going to be in a gym, like interviewing people. We were outside the whole fucking day. I'm freezing my tits off because I was not dressed properly. And she just has me like running up to dudes before they go into the gym as they have headphones on. These dudes are fucking huge. And she's like, don't even give them an opportunity like to say no. Like to be like, hey, can I ask you a couple
That's not
questions?
advice to give comics.
Yeah, this was ran by Crystalia. But she kept, because I would be like, hey, do you mind if I ask you a couple questions first, because I just feel super uncomfortable bombarding people. And she's like, no, like high energy, get up in their face, be like, what's up, bro, what do you do for a workout? And I'm like, and she kept being like, way more energy, like I'm like, I don't like, I look like a cartoon character. I'm like, I just kept feeling more and more uncomfortable with this. So anyways, one dude legitimately tried to fight me because she's like, go up to this guy and challenge him to do this. I go up and he's like, we're sticking a camera in his face. He hits the camera, hits the product out of my hands, legitimately tries to like fight me. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, we don't have to. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to. And the camera guy keeps going. and trying to ask him questions. I'm like, dude, we're done here. This guy's literally trying to fight us.
That's what she wants out of it, though. She like wants
For the
like,
record, yeah. I side with that guy every time I see a video like that on the internet.
I have a great story. My friend, he's a
Wait, so hang on.
comedy-
I got to tell you, just not to cut you off, but this is the point of the story. So, I as I'm like going through that, I'm like, I'm fucking leave. Like, I don't need to be doing this. Like, I'm getting out of here. So she's like, hey, we're gonna go to the next location, and then you can meet us there. And in my head at this point, I'm like, I'm fucking leaving, dude. I'm gonna get my car. I'm gonna text her and be like, hey, I don't feel comfortable with this. So as I'm walking out, Jeremy Allen White walks, the real Jeremy Allen White, Lip from Shameless, walks right by me, dude. And who would have been the perfect person to interview this entire thing. And in my head, I'm like, I'm not gonna say a goddamn thing. And I just watched him walk right past me. I got my car, and I left.
Am I the only one that's never heard of an energy spray before?
Yeah, I had never heard of
Is
it.
it like a
nasal
spray in your
spray or
mouth or
Banaka?
something?
Yeah, it's like you spray it in your mouth. It's like some sort of pre-workout or some
I
bullshit.
associated with like they used to have those as like sour candies and they were spray. Like that's what I thought it was. Yeah.
But so anyway, it was just crazy. Jeremy Allen White walks right by me, and like they would have fucking came all over themselves if they saw that he was just around the corner. I didn't say
there's no way he would have even been receptive.
That's why I was like,
to
I'm
that.
not gonna say a goddamn word to this guy.
He's
like,
got
like,
too much to promote
talk to
to
my-
outwardly be a dick to
Yeah,
people.
don't put a product in my face. Go to my
Yeah.
fucking manager.
But anyways,
Yeah.
that was the end of it. I started to cut you off, Dan. Just had
Oh
to
no.
get that
It
out.
just your story reminded me. I had a friend, a comedian named John Raymond Fisher, and he got paid to do a advertising campaign for the San Diego Tourist Board, where he played a guy named Mr. Sunshine, and he's a guitar comic. And Mr. Sunshine's deal is he'd run up to you on a cold winter Chicago morning as you were trying to get to work, and he'd start playing acoustic music at you, singing about how much happier you would be if you were in San Diego. And he said that he made them the first time someone smashed his guitar. And so the next time he went up, he made them supply him with guitars. They gave him 4, and 2 more were broken after that. And
This is why comics kill themselves, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, these are the gigs that we're doing.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, Dan, you were the house comic for a while at a place. So you had to do the shitty corporate
Oh God, yeah.
fundraising.
Yeah.
yeah.
I did a JCC one time. I was the only non-Jewish
I did a bar
person.
mitzvah once for a 13-year-old kid's birthday party.
Oh shit! You had to
Hardest-
take your shoes off when you went in the house, right?
Yeah, I literally went in.
Yeah,
the kids were playing tag, and they're like, "Hey, the comedian's here! Everyone get downstairs!" They're running around shirtless. I'm like, "Dude, what am I doing here?"
Yeah.
It was a karaoke microphone in a living room with no shoes on.
Fuck
I
yeah.
have never bombed harder in my life.
Oh, that's because everyone in the room was probably a comedy manager too.
Yeah. Future comedy managers.
Yeah.
This could be the next Dave Becky in
Yeah.
here.
That's the worst room to bomb in.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping
Yeah.
for.
Like what jokes do you do for? Do you play to the adults or the kids? Like,
Dude, there's only 2 adults in there. The mom that booked me and her ex-husband. And I'm like, why did you think that this was going to be a good idea? And by the way, she's like, they're going to love it and blah, blah, blah. They could not have been less. They didn't know what was happening. They're like, why is this guy talking at us? Like giving us this weird lecture. And like, I didn't know what to do. You can't do crowd work. Like, yeah, like I'm like, what do you guys do for fun? They're like, hide and seek, dude. Get fucked.
oh, okay. As long as they were ironic about
Guys
that.
want to talk about first pubes or
Yeah.
what's up?
And then I'm like, I'm trying to like talk to them about something like maybe like I don't know, like I'm like, how dirty can I be? But I want to get them talk, and like I literally gave up like halfway through. I'm like, I looked at the mom. I'm like, do you want me to keep going? And then I got off, and she was like, it felt like it was a little short. I was like, "Go fuck yourself. And she still paid. I got paid. I got the fuck out of there.
You know what was probably for me one of the more awkward ones I did, but at least it was for a good cause, was old Gary Frisch, a friend of the program.
R.I.P.
Gary Frischicles asked me to do he was very involved with the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, and they had a fundraiser at a catering hall in like September a couple years ago. And he just saw me at open mics, and he's like, you can be relatively clean compared to most of the open mic comics. Would you be able to just like host this at the beginning, do 10 minutes or so, and then help them raise money? I'm like, whatever. So we show up there. It starts at 7. September, it's still bright out at 7 p.m. The sun's coming in there and it's just bright, and I'm trying to do like comedy for people like there to just raise money. Everyone's in suits, very stiff, like nothing I'm saying is getting any reaction. Get through it, got a few chuckles, but then they want me to go around the room and they're doing like an auction, like who wants to donate $50, and they're like, if no one says that, go to 100, and if no one says that, just keep going higher and higher, and then just try and go up to people and get them to put money in. And
that's what people are waiting for. They're like, no, we'd actually prefer to give you more money.
Yeah. So one person was just like so reluctantly like, I'll do $100, and I was like, we got $100, and I'm going table to table, and these people are like, get the fuck out of my face! I'm trying to eat chicken parm, and it was just
Now, are you like me when you get? Because when I get asked to do these shows, you have to fight every urge in your body not to do cystic fibrosis jokes.
Yeah. Oh my god!
Look at these fibros in here.
As I was asked to do the fucking fundraiser for the Special Olympic Polar Bear Plunge.
They do one of those?
Well, the show because I thought of the first joke that I'd open with, and I was just like, being retarded and jumping into freezing water, that's redundant.
I was gonna say, is that like a form of shock therapy to get them out of it or something? Or
they wouldn't have even gotten even gotten mad at Dave because they'd be like, look at how inspirational this guy is.
Damn.
Would you have to do that at a boat dock? Like a boat ramp or something? Like you gotta wheel those kids in?
The show never happened.
Yeah,
and thank God for that, because
that would have been incredible. Though I would have showed up to the back of Water's Edge on the Neshaminy Creek, just seeing a bunch of kids and Dave dressed as Jesus in a robe, and he's just getting them all in the water, and then they all come out and they're like, "Wait, like I'm like fine now."
I'm healed.
And it's like he cured them. Yeah,
it's only that'd only be a Flowers for Algernon cure anyway. That would it would only be short term, but.
If Dave's comedy could cure people, he still would refuse shows. He would still say, "No, I don't think so."
Yeah. I went out during COVID specifically to kill people with my jokes. Like this should be the last thing they hear.
Yeah.
Would you, if your jokes could help cure MS, would you do a show 10-minute spot?
Would all the audience? So it would only be MS people in the audience?
Yep, they've all been affected by it.
Yeah. Why not?
That's pretty noble of you.
I mean, if they could take a joke,
what option is it?
First of all, who? I make fun of anyone that I'm not afraid can get up and attack me.
Right.
That's your room then.
Yeah, if I cheered them, are they really?
You would do it just so they could applaud you, really.
That's right.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And also with MS, it's going to take them a bit to get to you anyway.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You got some time.
I feel pretty safe
like
up
the Thriller video.
Oh, look, stairs, no ramp to get up on stage.
I think it's a good trade, though. Like, they have to listen to 10 minutes of all MS jokes, and then they're cured through some magical principle.
I mean, if I had MS and then was cured of it, I would fucking make fun of that shit all the time.
I think the question is, do the MS people want to sit through your 10 minutes?
Right.
That's the question.
Some of them might be like, I'll take the MS.
Yeah. Some of them might be like, I can't do 10
and
minutes.
I would respect that.
Stick with the MS.
I would respect that. As a niche comic, I can't be upset if I'm not for everyone.
Right?
Yeah.
That's right, baby.
Absolutely.
That is true.
Constant Dan D'Aprile over there, constant professional, dipping off mic, off set, off cam, just to make sure. I think you're throwing up. I don't know. Good job.
Did you just vomit?
No,
No. I laughed so hard because you guys are hilarious, and then I started coughing, and I went on mute too. So
thank you, buddy. No, you're crushing.
Wow, look at that.
Here's a question for you, Dan. This one's been burning for me. I haven't talked to you in a bit. I've been wanting to ask you this. It has been, and this one has been sitting in the pocket for a little bit. So if you were in a coma for 60 years and you woke up and snapped out of it, what would be the first thing you do?
Coma for 60 years and I fucking snapped out of it.
You came out of a coma after 60 years. They tell you it is the year 2083. What are you doing?
Did he age at this?
No, you didn't age at all. You're in your perfect, beautiful looking state as you are.
To say perfect health. which is ironic on two fronts tonight.
You're gonna wake up from the coma and you're still gonna have pneumonia, however you pronounce it. Yeah. So what's the first thing you're gonna do?
I would probably that's a really good answer. I'd have to see who I knew that was still alive. I would take stock and I'd have to see who made it versus
how old
who
are you
I
now?
thought would make it. I'm about to turn 40 in February.
Okay, well, so no one would
Yeah.
be alive in
Not
60
it.
years.
You'd be kicking though. You would still be 40 years old. Everybody else would be long gone.
Yeah, and I would be even more out of date with all my sensibilities, so it would be fucking great.
Your first question might just be like, did I get canceled from the Weekday Comics podcast?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Just see what just
How
happened.
how much higher did Dave elevate it?
Yeah. So he actually died within the year.
Come to find out, we wheeled you in for the live podcast every Tuesday.
Oh,
Just-
yeah.
I'm well aware
The
that
Weekend at Bernie situation.
I'm aware I'm in my last decade, but we don't.
I think
Yeah.
I know you. Well, what's your answer then? You would take stock.
Yeah, I would see if I was canceled for that Noah Kaniga joke, probably.
Oh, and they fired it back in there.
Yeah.
Recancel yourself, go back to sleep for
Dude,
60
it's
years.
pretty. In a few minutes, it's just gonna all go black for you. No pun intended. You're gonna wake up 60 years from now and be like, "What the fuck happened?" And it's all gonna come back to this episode. So what's Dave? I think I knew your answer. You're gonna crank one out, huh?
I mean, I have to see the advancements in porn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
great
actually it's on a downslope right now. I OnlyFans is kind of.
Yeah, because
I
everybody's
like-
got one. My
I
mom's
like
got one.
production-
Yeah,
I like production value. I've seen your mom's. It's great figure, but the production value, shit.
Right.
Damn. Well, right now, I'm sure if you've dabbled in any of the VR porn, it's pretty incredible.
No. I can't do. I don't like first person. Say video games and porn. I need to know someone better than me
His performance.
is laying down that work.
I get
Yeah.
that. That's respectable.
Dan, have you ever put one of those on? A little
It's
VR
like the
headset?
NBA. It's like, white guys can do it, but, the black guys are the real performers.
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Plus, porn is something you need to be alert for. I can't have a fucking someone can easily. There can be people just watching me do it without me knowing it.
Oh, yeah.
I need that. I need the shame.
Yeah,
The
that's
shame
right.
helps. It helps.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
need some guilt.
I would actually really like to try it. I've never tried it before. I don't have a VR headset, so I've only ever used other people's, and I just feel it wouldn't be appropriate in that situation, Like,
What?
are you still playing Mario? Like, yeah.
Dude, I got one of my buddies left his headset at my house, and I've just been every now and then just jumping in, just seeing what's
Hell yeah.
going on. And
every now and then, every
now and then.
night,
Yeah.
every morning.
yeah, dude, sometimes it just sticks to my head, and I'm like, how do I get this thing fucking off? But the problem is that when you put it in 8K, you can do a full 180 in that thing. You're sitting on this like white couch in some mansion, and there's
Yeah,
some
it was brown when Dan bought it.
there's some big booty Latina just walking in the room. You look down, you got a big, huge black dick, and then I'm just like, wow, the feng shui of this mansion is really nice.
Yeah,
Like,
Dan's checking out the wallpaper.
I'm looking at. I was like, where did they get that? What kind of contractors? I'm like, looking out the window to see like where it could be. Is it in Southern California? Is it Pacific Northwest?
60 years from now, though, the VR porn, you could probably physically like step into another person's body at that point and just
Oh, yeah.
become
It would just.
someone else.
It would be
Become-
Total Recall. Whatever you do to have sex in Total Recall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it-
They
Nice.
don't touch each other.
Did you guys see that one episode of Black Mirror where
Yeah.
it's a video game?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
It's like a Mortal Kombat type
Yes.
of thing, right?
And he starts hooking up with his buddy.
Yeah.
It would be one of those situations. You need some Dan on Dan action. It would be some
All
big
right, so
booty
you knew it
Latina.
was him, but it was a hot Asian chick, like in the episode.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Deal breaker that it's him or hot Asian.
Sure. Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I feel like it's such an easy question.
To
But
put this in perspective, there's the question I asked Brendan a couple weeks ago. I was like, do you guys remember the movie what was it? She's the Man? Is that
Yes.
it? Amanda
Yeah.
Bynes?
Back,
Yeah.
You remember that movie? All right. So I asked Brendan, I was like, in that movie, who would you rather bang? Hot Amanda Bynes as, the woman in that movie, or Amanda Bynes dressed like a dude? Who would you fuck?
Wait,
right, you just
why is that? Wait, no, you mean Amanda Bynes as a woman now or
In
hot?
the movie.
no. He was asking just straight up like Amanda Bynes at her hottest, or when she dressed up like a dude.
Well,
I was
how
like,
is
wait,
that?
What?
Why? How is that
It's-
equal? You have to balance the scales. It's Amanda Bynes now or Amanda
Right.
Bynes as a
Well,
dude
well,
in that
true. We're
movie
just
when
finding
she
out
was hot.
Dan is
In the
dead.
in the movie in 2003, she was playing that Violet character.
I've seen the fucking movie.
That character. Would you rather fuck that character, or would you rather fuck Amanda Bynes dressing as the dude in that
No,
movie?
I think we're all understanding the question. What
And
we're
why-
saying is
it's not a good question.
right.
she's a hot dude versus a hot girl. Yeah, it's kind of a dumb question.
It's a very gay question if you choose one answer.
That's
Right.
my logic. Nothing makes
Yeah,
sense.
That's like Dan. Would you rather bang bang your wife or bang your wife as she's dressed up like a dude?
with taped on sideburns. Think about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and here's the option just for people that need it, because this is obviously
Hell yeah.
Oh,
That's
nice.
Right there, right there. Hell yeah, look at that.
Yeah. No, it should be that versus her now.
Oh,
Right.
that versus her now? Okay, which would you guys go with?
Easily
It's
the
that.
the
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
The dude version.
I forget the name of the guy in the movie, but yeah.
But you're basically asking people, are you gay or straight?
Right.
Well, like I would know it's Amanda underneath of there. We're on a first name basis, but yeah, that is
Friend
pretty.
of the show.
Yeah. If you guys are able to book Amanda Bynes, I mean,
I think it'd probably be a little easier now than it were at one point.
yeah. She's got
That's
nice
a-
face tattoo.
Yeah, that's a
now.
Zoom interview, though. I don't want her anywhere fucking.
Yeah, she'll
She'll
post
bite.
on
She's a
Fire.
biter.
she'll get both of you guys the HIV. That is for sure. You guys will both be remote. Yeah.
Amanda Bynes was gorgeous, dude.
Yeah.
At a point.
Sydney White was my shit.
Who's
Sydney
that?
White?
Sydney White was her movie. It was basically Snow White, but she played Sydney White. And instead of seven dwarfs, she was in a frat house, like the nerd frat. So with like seven.
Oh, Amanda Bynes played.
Yeah, she played Sydney White.
Never
Yeah.
saw that one.
Okay.
I haven't seen that.
I've seen all of her hits.
All of her works.
Yeah.
Dan, who's your favorite childhood actor that's really gone downhill but was hot?
Oh,
They
I
were all
feel-
hot.
Dakota Fanning.
Ooh, yeah.
yeah. I feel like it's insensitive to say Christina Applegate, but
Ooh.
Christina Applegate. I, mean,
I
that's
forgot
the
she
real
was
answer.
She looked
That's
good
the real
last night.
answer. She did.
Yeah, I forgot she was a child star.
Yeah.
I mean, But she was.
Well,
No,
What
she-
Christmas Vacation? What was she in?
well, she
Well,
was
Married
in
with
Married
Children.
with Children.
Oh.
yeah.
And she was
Yeah.
fucking
She was a
hot.
baby in something too, wasn't she?
That might have been a joke she made on that.
I saw the
thing
I
last
thought she
night.
was being
I don't know if there
serious.
was like an actual, if that was a thing.
I,
sure.
I also wouldn't have found her particularly hot as a baby. I don't think.
Right.
Yeah, it's each
He
their
has
own,
to say
but-
that for legal purposes.
Yeah.
The Patreon. We'll get the real juice.
We'll get the real
Now-
story.
now, if she was a baby dressed up as a boy, no, listen.
Yeah. She's a boy pretending to be a high school soccer player. We're talking something. a
Dan's like,
little
now hear
different.
me out. Would you rather fuck Drake or Josh?
Josh now. Have you seen Josh now?
He's a hot guy.
He is a hot stud of a man.
Did
right
he
now.
just get arrested for something?
Drake did.
I don't. I never. You guys are younger than me. I never got on the Josh
Drake
and
Bell
Drake.
was
to
like
watch
hitting
it.
on teenagers or something, and I
Yeah.
think Josh has his shit together. He's
Well,
hot looking.
he's probably stuck in that zone. He was probably so famous at that time, and then like he's not done anything since, and he's just chasing that dragon of getting that all that pussy that he used to get back in the day.
And who was his sister on that show? Miranda Cosgrove, is that her name?
yeah,
Yeah.
who looks like the most normal out of all of the ones that have all the child stars that have grown up and
Yeah.
done some stuff.
Miley Cyrus has turned it around a bit, but
Yeah.
You guys, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we gotta do the news.
Ooh.
all right.
here we
News
go.
What's hot? What's cooking?
What is happening? I feel like we
go.
covered a little bit of it. But
I tried to steer it away if I had a joke written about anything.
All right, I'm gonna hit the music. All right.
Hey, okay. Dave, I have to introduce this. I'm really fucking out of it right now, guys. So
It's all
here we
good,
go.
man.
This will be fun. All right. This is the news section of the program. As we all know, the news section, Dave and I read the news. We have not consulted one another about whatever nonsense we're going to write. I wrote mine delirious on antibiotics last night.
We're gonna have a
If
Roseanne situation on our head.
which we sure do. I don't even know what is on this fucking manifesto right now. So we'll see. If Dave and I have written the same about the same news story, we are going to have a joke off. Hit that. Joke off. And if we are joking each other off, that means it is a competition, as all joke offs should be. And if we do joke each other off, fellas, the South Jersey Bad Boys, you will be the tribunal, I suppose, that will decide who the winner is. Currently, I believe I'm leading by 1 point.
By one, yeah.
oh
A
shit.
fever dream that I had. Yeah, and we've done this for over a year, and we've been up by 5 or 6 each on each other, and we've always come back, and it's been within like one for about 8 months.
Joking
So
off
it's
and
pretty
coming
intense.
back.
That's right.
That's what you do, baby.
That's right, baby.
Although,
Dave, you
yeah.
wanna kick this off?
One of Dan's jokes got him called a potato with a beard in the comments this week, and I thought that was pretty fucking funny.
That's pretty good.
A lot of angry comments too, but that one was the standout.
Give that guy a point.
Yeah. All right. Tropicana removes letters A and I from name to highlight natural ingredients. This is a huge sigh of relief to parents who know their children won't be getting any ingredients that will one day harm them when the breakfast drinks inevitably decide to uprise against us.
Yes.
Little wordy.
Little wordy. Yeah. Little wordy on that
Little
one.
spelling. Yeah, I like it.
It gets there. All right.
You got to dumb
Yeah,
it down.
it's more of a movie. It's more of a movie pitch than a.
All right. Donald Trump says his businesses got money from foreign governments because he was doing services for them. And really, what service could you render that's better than door dashing a nuclear weapon?
All right.
Yeah, there we go.
Measles outbreak involving cases at a Philadelphia daycare center expands, health officials say. Could have been prevented, but Philly has a real epidemic of kids sharing their juice box straws without sanitizing them first.
This is a joke off, baby.
Oh, shit.
Here we go. Philadelphia measles outbreak has hospitals on alert after child was sent to daycare despite quarantine instructions. The parents claim this was all a misunderstanding, as they meant to send their highly infectious child to Nick Sirianni's office.
All right.
Oh.
Topical.
Topical.
I mean, they're all topical. They're news jokes.
Well, he tied in. He tied in two.
Topicals.
It's a twofer.
But Dave kind of worked in a bit of a like PSA about sanitizing your needles, so that could be definitely
true.
appreciated in some communities. Do we like think through our thought process here? How do we?
This is your show now.
Oh shit!
It's
All
all-
right, Brendan, what do you think?
It's ours again.
So we're voting who had the.
Yeah, who's
The
Who
best
you like
between
better?
those two.
Yeah, there are no rules. It's just whatever you guys prefer.
I would say in general they were all pretty bad, but I would give it to Dan. I think Dan had one that was decent.
Is it just on
no,
the
no,
measles
we're
joke?
just the measles joke. Yeah.
Oh, just because that's well. Forget everything I said. They were all good.
We're only two in.
I guess I'll give it to Dan for that twofer.
Yeah, I gotta give it to Dave. I appreciate a PSA inside of a joke. I mean,
All right.
sanitize your
Draw.
needles.
Hot and
That's a
spicy.
wash. That's a wash.
It's a wash.
Okay, cool.
All right. My turn again, huh? All right. Trump says he's already decided on potential VP pick during town hall. Although by not saying who, it's now the Trump VP that's leaving his supporters hanging.
Wait, I don't know if I get it.
Because they built the gallows for Mike Pence.
They were gonna
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
wanted,
yeah.
And wanted to hang him.
See, you're anticipating a smarter
That's-
guest judging this.
If I have to explain the Middle East to someone, that's someone that's really not up on the. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And to take some pressure off you, Donegan, you're not judging anything but a joke off. You can just enjoy all the ones
Yeah.
that are not competing.
I apologize.
That's okay.
I can't even understand the rules, so the jokes are going to be difficult for me.
All right. Bernie Sanders predicts that Democrats will rally around Joe Biden, though they probably have to keep him from falling down.
Accurate. Ohio woman who miscarried at home will not face felony charges. The Ohio court said it all came down to a matter of personhood and decided that women shouldn't be eligible for people crimes.
Heard that, sister.
Hunter Biden makes surprise appearance at contempt of court hearing in Congress. But hey, sometimes you got to go wherever you can to score. You know.
Atlanta officials considering banning right turns on red. They figured it's an issue of public safety, as most people don't look both ways before performing a drive-by.
Hey,
Yeah.
it is.
That is true.
Yes.
All right. GOP Congressman Tim Burchett stands by accusation that some Republican members have been compromised by blackmail. The representative added, quote, "And by God, as soon as we find out what these other freaks are into, we'll have them all blackmailed."
Okay. Former Wizards star included in blockbuster trade accused of shoplifting from Target 7 times. He could have been charged for the far more severe crime of armed robbery, but fortunately for him, the Wizards have a very strict leave your guns in your locker policy.
Yeah, old Gilbert Arenas, right?
Javaris Critterton.
Ooh, I thought you're referencing a Michael Jordan, but then you got into some of the charges.
Oh,
The old Wizards.
Ex-wizard.
he is a wizard. That is true.
Technically, you're a wizard, Michael.
All right. This one almost hit the cutting room floor, but it's extra topical, as Brendan said earlier. South Korea's over 70 population overtakes 20-somethings and teens. In other news, Chris D'Elia has canceled his upcoming Korean tour.
Hey, love when it lines up like that.
I like it.
Blizzard and record cold threaten to disrupt Iowa caucuses as candidates are forced to adapt. The candidates are all worried that the weather would only benefit Ramaswamy, as he'd be the only one you could see in the snow.
The Supreme Court will decide whether anti-homeless laws are cruel and unusual, though experts expect the court to show sympathy to the only population that spends more time sitting on a bench and asking for handouts.
Okay. Former Florida school board member allegedly used district money to buy fake pregnancy belly amid a $100,000 scheme. According to her higher-ups, finally a pregnancy scandal that isn't a teacher getting knocked up by a student.
Yes. Yes.
You love to see
You
it.
love to see it. I see so many more of the women teachers.
They're
banging.
all hot. I know.
I know. Yeah, it's a problem.
It's great.
Yeah.
So we need to pay teachers more.
South Africa tells the United Nations court that Israel is committing genocide in Gaza in an impressive first day at trial from lead prosecutors D'Antwoord.
I'm learning so much.
That would have worked better with the picture that I was going to provide if I wasn't sick. D'Antwoord are the fucking meth freaks that.
I love
Yeah,
it. I love it. How many of these do we have to listen to?
we're in the
just
second
fucking-
half.
I'm fucking-
Yeah.
Yeah, we're about the 7th inning stretch right
Yeah, here's
There we go.
some here's some football for you guys. I know you're up on that one.
Man, we're cooking.
Peacock's exclusive NFL stream of Chiefs Dolphins games, playoff game irks fans. You could tell the NFL really dropped the ball with this when Taylor Swift announced she is now dating it. Because he dropped a lot of balls in that game.
Yeah, man, a ton.
Texas physically barred Border Patrol agents from trying to rescue migrants who drowned. When asked for comment, Governor Greg Abbott said, Texas officials have not had that much fun watching brown people disappear underwater since Hurricane Harvey.
Holy hell.
Thank you.
Boosh. NFL Hall of Famer Brett Favre says Taylor Swift will be blamed if Chiefs lose in playoffs. He went on to say, and while we're blaming her for stuff, we should see if she was in Mississippi any time early last year.
Yeah, Favre's getting some heat for that too.
Yeah,
Man,
he's got to send out another dick pic to take some of that
Stuck
heat
on
off.
this, Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get some positive press back on him.
yeah.
Right, yeah.
He's got a piece on
Yeah,
him.
show that hog, dude.
In historic moment, St. Paul's first all-female city council has been sworn in. In another first, the leader of the city council has been officially recognized as being so brave, the way you'll just wear anything to work.
Here's a dumb one. Because they've all been smart up until now.
You guys are running for office
Yeah.
today.
Rapper Ice-T's wife, Coco Austin, scrutinized on social media after allowing daughter 8 to play drinking game. But in their defense, who's going to make a concoction of iced tea and cocoa without adding alcohol to it?
There you go. What's Ice-T's wife's name? Sweet Tea? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Cocoa.
It was a joke, Dan. Really, Dave. Really smart one.
Oh my
My
gosh.
There's
God.
no place for smart jokes on this podcast, not this portion at least.
Damn right.
Jonathan Majors dropped from Dennis Rodman movie after assault conviction. And you know it's rough for Majors when he can't even hang out with the best friend of Kim Jong-il.
Was the lady that he assaulted underage? Because if
White.
so, Jonathan Majors, more like Jonathan Minors.
That's true.
Come on, guys. These are off the cuff here. You know?
It's true. Now you've had that one. This story's been too big. Too big.
That's what he said.
Boosh. All right. Nev Campbell is open to returning to Scream franchise if circumstances are right. She said that for her to in order for her to return, the script would have to be perfect, and maybe the Jews could just chill a little bit during the press circuit.
It's a good one, Dave. Thank you. Stay in your market. The Jewish shows.
Grand Canyon University, already fined $37 million, faces new federal inquiry. Though, in defense of the college, it is named after a giant hole you can literally throw money into.
That's true.
True. Okay. More football. Bill Belichick interviews for Falcons head coach job, which puts them in a significant lead when it comes to landing him. So based on their history, he's going to sign somewhere else.
Yes. Yes.
Accurate.
Woman dropped 3-year-old while shoplifting at Walmart, police say.
Nice.
Yeah. Though the woman claims she saw it more as an exchange situation.
Clean up on aisle 3.
Yeah. It's a South Jersey Walmart, too. We know that.
Paging Jonathan Minors.
Hey.
All right. 2 more. You can hang it in there?
I'm hanging in.
Sweet.
I'll buy a thread.
Yeah.
Throw me in Grand Canyon University.
Hey.
Elton John achieves elite EGOT status with Emmy win for his concert film. This is John's 9th major award win and first that falls outside of the category of getting lions in the mood to fuck.
Alabama prisoners' bodies returned to families with hearts and other organs missing, lawsuit complains, proving that with inflation, the cost of gang protection in the yard is skyrocketing.
All right, last one. And this is the thing I've never even heard of this one, which upsets me. Uber is shutting down alcohol delivery app Drizzly. There was too much confusion on what they meant by combining Uber and alcohol, and now those kids will never have a mom again.
Drizzly, I thought that was Drake's Uber service.
I thought it was R. Kelly's. Yeah, what
All right, my last one here. Mother buys candy for 6-year-old son. Realizes this later it was Delta 9 CBD. The mother immediately contacted Poison Control after realizing her child had become chill as fuck.
Sweet.
Dude, you guys ended on I like those last 2 from each of you.
A lot of writing.
Damn,
Yeah.
you guys did that in a week?
I did it in a one night.
Yeah,
high
that's
on
an hour or 2.
antibiotics, yeah.
What
Couldn't
the
you
hell?
tell?
I should try writing jokes.
Yeah.
Sometimes our guests do. No pressure.
Paulie Carson. I saw Paulie Carson did. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he
a bit
brought
of
the
a,
heat.
he's a bit of a wild boy. You
He's
got to
a
keep
joke
track
machine.
of it. Yeah, he's nuts.
He outshined us a little bit on that podcast. I didn't like it. No,
A little bit. Yeah, he's never coming back. All right, so what do you guys? We'll ask you one at a time because you're separate people despite your podcast. Dan, what do you got coming up?
Actually, you say we're separate people. The next show I have is with Brendan this Friday up in Glenside. We're doing a Ready, Set, Joke, which is who's the Paul Provenza used to do like a very improv-y. That's what this show is. It's at the Royal in Glenside. So that'll be coming up on Friday. I think outside of that one, I've got a couple of shows coming up in February, like a fundraiser gig, doing another Moose show up in Lacey Township. But that's all coming up in the next few weeks. What do you got?
Okay, yeah. You'll cover that on your shit.
Yeah.
And we got your Instagram here. And
Nice.
Oh, hell yeah.
Brendan, so
Hell yeah.
They can follow you.
For an audio podcast, yeah, it's at D_Callan underscore
yeah.
on IG.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
Brendan?
I got nothing much. We got the show with Dan on Friday, and I'll be at, I think, Next in Line the following weekend. So otherwise, yeah, just check me out on Instagram. I'll be posting all my upcoming shows there. I don't got much right now.
Yeah.
That's it.
And that's just at Brendan Donegan Comedy.
Brendan Donegan Comedy. Check out South Jersey Bad Boys. Otherwise,
Yeah, that's
There we go.
check out my episode if you want.
Yeah, it was
and demand storm their fucking show like January 6th and demand the missing 20 minutes.
Missing 20 minutes. Once we start a Patreon, that's going to be
But I held-
our first paywall.
I've held on to that along with plenty of other things we had to cut out. We had the That Rules guys on there that we had to cut out a lot of insane shit from those guys.
Yes.
But, yeah, we're gonna bank it
You
all.
did a whole glory hole scene for you guys.
Yeah, that's all.
We did a separate episode with Dave where he was completely naked. That's going to be behind a big paywall.
Yeah,
Big paywall.
yeah.
Huge paywall.
Not as big as you think. Not
Yeah,
as big as you
I would say average size paywall.
That feels complimentary.
Do you guys think? I know they've had naked roasts and stuff. Do you think there's a market for naked podcasts and you put them on like Pornhub or something?
I think that's just what Twitch is now.
Yeah, we're
Oh
OnlyFans.
fuck, you're right. Yeah, and OnlyFans too. I know that there was like a guy uploading math lessons to Pornhub, and then he had a pretty huge following on there. It was pretty nuts.
There
Just-
is the naked comedy show. I think they do it out west, but I don't
Yeah.
like it because like they only book people that are generally like pretty good looking naked. So it's like I'm told I'm unbookable and ugly. I don't like that. I don't like the feeling of that,
What the fuck's the fun in that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of you, Dan, where are you going to be?
Well, you can find
Neil
me
wants
this
us
week
out.
on doctor's ordered bed rest for the next week. I'll be nowhere because I have pneumonia. But next week, well, we'll talk about that next week. I'll be in the studio next week. Maybe I'll make it in.
Fuck yeah.
I'm in a little phone tag with a booker right now, so keep up on my socials. When the balls fall where they fall,
Yeah, when
then I'll
Dave's
give you
mom
the
gets back to him, he's going to be
She doesn't book shit.
not
She
unless
books
it's the
other people.
JCC.
Yeah, she. No,
Just gonna
she does have a membership. I don't think she has the membership anymore, but
That's right.
yeah.
She's gonna get locked in for pot roast dinner next weekend, dude.
Yeah.
Coach, I don't know. Neil, say your things.
Yeah, sure, of course. You can check me out at IamNeilWood.com and I am Neil Wood on all the stuff. You can go there and check out all the Drop 10 stuff. Go over to drop10.com/events. You'll find our biggest little comedy show there, and we're at a bunch of venues coming up in January and February. You might see all the great comics that we have on the network. So they're going to be popping into these shows. And yeah, thanks, everybody.
Fuck yeah.
Appreciate
It's a great
All
studio.
right. Yes.
Sweet.
Thanks to our guests.
Thanks,
for
South
having us
Jersey
on.
Bad Boys.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
We'll catch you next time, Dan. But thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys. There we go. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Oh, man, that was we fucking landed that like Kerry Strug should have.
How you doing? This is Neil Wood from the Cult of Us podcast, speaking on behalf of Drop 10 Media Network, the network you're currently listening to. Make sure to check out all the other podcasts on the network. You can go to drop10.com to check them all out. Make sure to like, subscribe on everything that you see Drop 10 on. We appreciate it. Go to drop10.com now.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.